So this morning I got asked this question, Teddy, how do I use LinkedIn to find a new job and not let my boss find out or anybody in my company find out? Because that won't work. That would be absolute failure. If someone found out I was looking for a job before I found a new job and could turn in my notice, because I don't want to get fired from my current job while I'm looking for another one. So I thought about it for a little bit. I know some of the ideas, but I got to look at it from the perspective of the person who's looking for a job, who currently has a job and is afraid of losing it. And many people who are in that situation, they won't use LinkedIn to find a job because they're afraid that something may go wrong. And so what's happening then is, they're getting all tense and worried, and that's creating lots of angst in the person. But secondly, they're missing out on the opportunity of using LinkedIn effectively. So here's some ideas. Number one, don't worry about having to build a profile that shows I'm looking for a job. It's number one. Don't worry. Don't even try to build a profile that says I'm looking for a job. What you need to do is build a LinkedIn profile that very clearly says who you are and what you do. This is your brochure. It may be kind of like a resume, but think brochure. You really want to build a profile that speaks to who you are and what you do, talking about your accomplishments and your successes and the things that you've done to create value for your current employer and even past employers, as long as those successes are relevant to who you are and what you do today. So think that way. Build your brochure. Don't build a flyer that says I'm looking for a job. Now, here's the second thing you need to do. Second thing you need to do is look at your network and look and see who in your network you can reach out to and have a conversation with about ideas. I get it. A lot of the people you're probably connected with or, tied to your current employer, maybe fellow employees, et cetera, et cetera. So you probably can't get into a conversation with them. But there are probably other people in your network who you could get into a conversation with. So look at your LinkedIn network, find people you can get into a conversation with, and see if you can strike up a conversation that can help you move to the next step. Now, what is the next step? The next step is not to find a job. That may happen, but that's not the ideal next step. The next step is to find another conversation with someone else who may have ideas that you should consider. You want to ask your network through LinkedIn, maybe not through public LinkedIn messaging, but maybe private messaging or telephone or email. You want to ask your LinkedIn network to introduce you to other people who may have ideas, opportunities, or may know other people that you should meet in your journey or your quest to find another job. This is way different than quote unquote simply looking for a job. It's looking for good conversations through your network. And along the way, you're building your network and connecting new people and even more people who may have ideas that you should consider, may know others that you should get into conversation with. Now, here's the third thing you need to do. The third thing you need to do is that you need to pay attention to the conversations on LinkedIn, i.e. content, posts, articles, videos, etc. You need to pay attention to those conversations that are relevant to the work you want to do and get into those conversations. Jump in and share your perspective, your ideas, your accomplishments, your thoughts, again, around that conversation. This will help grow the presence of your LinkedIn profile, which by now you've built out to be a brochure that clearly tells your target audience who you are and what you do. But this will help create more opportunities for that brochure to be seen. And it also will create opportunities for people to see your expertise, your accomplishments, and your skills, your knowledge, your perspectives through the engagement you do on these posts. So build a presence, your brochure, grow your network and reach into your network and find conversations with other people and engage on relevant content so that it can drive profile views and or show your brand, your expertise to others. Now, there are a few other things you might want to do as well. You might want to do some research on companies, some research on hiring managers, research on people who play in those departments that you may want to play in and those companies that you may want to get a job in. Do that kind of research as well. Yes, you're going to probably, unless you're really serious about networking to find your job, you're probably going to pay attention to LinkedIn jobs. You can probably set up some LinkedIn job alerts so you can see what comes up that you may be interested in. And then once you find a job that you're interested in, what you should do rather than immediately apply is you should find people who know people in that department of that company and see if you can strike up a conversation. And during that process, you'll apply for the job. But don't apply for the job until you do the research. Don't apply for the job until you try to find someone who can introduce you to someone in that organization. So you don't really have to worry a lot about your boss finding out you're looking for a job, unless you're going to, on your profile, say, I'm looking for a job. Unless you change your profile around significantly to represent you in a totally different way than it is today. That's another process that takes time to do. Probably wouldn't recommend you make that huge brochure shift up front. So anyway, using LinkedIn to find a job takes finesse, takes tactic, takes a strategy. And it's far more than just changing your brochure to say, I'm looking for a job. It's all about getting into conversations, building a brand, and finding people who know people that may have ideas that you need to find. I'm Teddy, your LinkedIn strategist and trainer. I help organizations use LinkedIn as a business tool, but I also help people who are in job search understand how to use this business tool in their job search. Hope this is helpful. Have a great day.